working on conflicts. Conflicts. You don't like the conflicts, right? But because we don't like it, we want to work on it. Or, we're not going to solve the problems because we need to understand what the conflicts are and then how to resolve those things. Finding solutions for the conflicts is a great way, but it doesn't work always well. But because of it, we want to work on it harder. Causing conflicts. Tons of reasons and causes, producing conflicts, making conflicts, and those are headaches. Okay, so what cause conflicts? We want to work on it. Conflict has become a natural and inevitable part of human life. So we have to live with conflicts. So when we have conflicts, we don't have to be surprised because there are always conflicts, and we have to live with conflicts because there are always conflicts. Conflicts are we are surrounded by conflicts. Okay, whether they are small or big, hard or easy, no matter what, there are tons of conflicts. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that there are so many conflicts, so we want to work on it. Okay, that's a natural and inevitable. Okay, so don't be disappointed with it. Okay, when you are taking this class, you were thinking that you want to avoid the conflicts. Yes, you can do it, but there are conflicts. You cannot remove conflicts. You cannot live without conflicts because there are always conflicts. You know what? You have conflict. There are conflicts in you too. Okay, your 2 minds or 3 minds or 4 minds can, fight each other. Okay, like Saint Paul said, I have two selves. One is for good, one is for bad. So those are fighting each other and against each other. So sometimes it is pretty hard to choose which way I have to go. I want to choose the good. I want to choose the bad. See, without anybody else, you alone can have conflicts. Okay, you're gonna have it's like you're gonna have fish burger or hamburger. You're gonna have French fries or onion rings. You're gonna have a Sprite or Coke. We have lots of things, fighting each other and against each other. Those are our so-called conflicts. Alright, so when you have any conflict, don't be surprised. That's our life. So we are living with conflicts. It is certain that because when we admit that and when we acknowledge that there are conflicts in our lives, then we're gonna get less stress. Okay, the stress when you have most stress from, because you don't expect anything but you have something, then you have more stress. Nobody expected the coronavirus, so people got stressed a lot at the first, in the beginning, but we don't get too much stress because of the coronavirus, because we got booster shots already. Well, people are dying because of the coronavirus after the booster shots even, but we're gonna get less fatal, less fatal threats by the coronavirus as long as we have booster shots. So booster shots are very important. The wearing mask is the most important thing. The vaccine and mask, two things are saving us. So anyways, so we don't get too much stress. At first we were so afraid of it, so we didn't want to just contact with others, and we didn't want to meet others, even friends, and we just stuck in our rooms at home and just use the internet for meeting or working or something. We don't get stressed too much nowadays. Well, lots of people got mental disorders because of the coronavirus, because they couldn't meet, friends and those people they like, and there have been lots of miscommunications because they have to work with cell phones or Zoom meetings, but it is way less effective than we meet together. That is pretty important. So, but anyways, we don't get stressed anymore, as much as we had before. Anyways, it is a certain that conflicts will always arise as long as humans have different goals, interests, and pursuits in life. So we all have different goals. We all have different interests. We all have different pursuits in our lives. That's why couples are fighting. That's why parents and kids are fighting. That's why employers and employees are fighting. Because countries and countries are fighting, like Ukraine war Ukraine is fighting against Russia because Russia invaded in Ukraine. Both countries have, their own reasons to do it. All right? But anyway, and then lots of countries, they are letting those two countries are fighting because of their interests. Okay. Well, people are losing this and that. Russia is losing their money and their power, their international reputation, their soldiers and armies and airmen and navies. Because of the war, Russia is losing lots of military people. Ukraine is losing lots of people. Okay, and lots of civilians are dying. They died. Okay, because of that war, lots of European countries and America and China, they are losing some. Okay, but because they think they are getting more than losing, that's why they are fighting. Because lots of European countries and America and other big countries, they are losing some, but they are gaining more than losing. That's why they letting that war continues. So we all are involved in the war, not only Russia and Ukraine. They could prevent it, that war. They could stop the war, but they keep on doing that, and they keep on watching it because they are gaining more than losing. That's, their own, by their, according to their own calculation. Why we fight? Because we want to gain something. Will Smith, Grammy Awards or something, Will Smith slapped Chris. Chris. I don't remember his last name. Chris Rock, I think. Chris Rock. Will Smith did that because he was thinking that he wants to gain something than losing. Because Chris humiliated and made a joke with Will Smith's wife, but Will Smith's wife lost her hair because of the illness. But Chris just made fun of it. So Will Smith couldn't resist to go and slap him. Well, slapping somebody else in front of lots of people, that was broadcasted to all over the world. I don't care what the Grammy or Oscar. I don't care those things. Who cares? I don't care. Some people care, but I don't care. So what? The awards is awards. They think that is the first place, that is the second place, and they are doing that. So I don't care. Awards, I don't care. I'm not a movie star, or I'm not a big fan for those kind of awards, so I don't care those things. They having fun, okay? You have fun. I don't mind. That's what I think, okay? I don't care. Even though the great actors I like, they got the awards or not, I don't care. It's okay. I like those movie stars no matter what, like Morgan Freeman, Matt Damon. I used to like Will Smith, but I want to just think about it. But anyways, Will Smith didn't calculate everything when he slapped Chris Rock. But anyway, he did for protecting his wife, and for just stopping the joke or something, because he did it before, and there was no good experience. What if you lose your hair? But what if somebody just make fun of you because of you are losing your hair? In the Bible, Elijah's follower, Elisha, I think he was bald. Yeah, I think so. And little kids just made fun of his baldness, and Elisha, when Elisha got humiliated by those kids. Kids can do it. Kids are kind of cruel. They don't think, what others think, but they just do whatever they want. Those are kids. So we call those people kids. Okay, but bear just appeared and just killed those kids. Wow. Because of the bald. Well, the little kids are doing it. But anyways, that happened. I don't understand that. I don't know what is right. Anyways, that happened. Even the children are not supposed to make fun of the people. Prophets got sent to people. That's the only thing I can get. Okay, but most people nowadays, they don't care. They just humiliated their pastors and priests. Well, it's a free country. They can do it if they want, but I don't know what God will do to those people who humiliated and mock the prophecies or people God called for His ministry. anyways, we all have different interests, goals, pursuits in our lives, so we fight. There are conflicts. And it's happening in churches too. And churches are kind of vulnerable because churches have not, even though they have, solid constitution and bylaw, but they are not diligent to apply those things to people because they care people. So I think the churches are the most weakest entities in this world because people can join to churches easily and they can leave those churches easily. I think. People are speaking and spreading lots of bad words no matter what. They don't want to use their common sense, but they kind of go low when they don't like others. Through the passage of time, humans had to wrestle daily with conflict issues. Yes, it's happening every day. Do I have to wake up right now and wash my face and brush my teeth, eat the breakfast right now, or do I need to just stay on the bed and just take some more time and sleep more? Do I have to eat more or stop eating right now for the body conditions and for the health issues? Do I have to brush my teeth because I'm too sleepy? Those are things. And couples, why couples? One out of two couples, one out of two couples are divorcing. They are divorcing one time, once and two times and three times. They change. They separate with their boyfriends and girlfriends many times. A friend of mine, oh my goodness, I got shocked. He told me that he had 9 girlfriends before he got married. Wow. I can't imagine, Well, I was not good at dating or something. Maybe I was too much conservative, or I got wrong orientation from my church. I don't know. Anyways, he had 9 girlfriends, and he told me that I'm not normal. He's normal. Well, I think he must be right. Maybe I missed lots of things for gaining, many things. That's what I did, and that's what I'm doing right now. Anyways, well, conflict has become so conflicts are there. There are tons of reasons and causes, making conflicts. All right? Okay. Then conflict is often associated with concepts related to antagonist interests, misunderstanding, competition, logically irreconcilable interests and goals, opposing tensions, rivalry, political maneuvers, and game behavior. Yeah. Well, you can enjoy the sports, and sports are always competitive. You can enjoy your baseball or softballs or playing billiards or those things. All kind of things. Those are actually basically for competing. When you compete with others, there can be delicate things. That's why we have judges. Can you imagine that we don't have judges in a soccer field? And do you think what would be happened? Ronaldo, Messi, and all the best players, do you think those people have good characters? I hope they have good characters. and they are supposed to show their good characters than bad characters, because they are getting lots of money from their clubs, and they are supposed to behave themselves. But anyways, the people are all same. All people are selfish. All people are interested in on themselves than others. We all are same people. We, hard to find the altruist, but the egoist. Okay, ego-centered people. There are tons of people. I mean, that is natural actually. What's wrong with that? Because people are supposed to survive themselves. And so when we see when we see the ego-centered people or selfish people, and that's actually natural. That's why we got surprised when we see altruists and people who helped others and sacrifice, for help, so they can help others. Then we got surprised. Okay. But anyways, I mean, so competing, rivalry, and you have a workers, and some people, your friends, your colleagues got promoted, but you couldn't make it. You just suggested represent a suggestion, but people don't agree with it, and people just oppose to it. It's conflicts. But how to deal with it? You understand that their selfishness, or you wanna just show your hostility. You wanna just decide what you wanna do, how to react to those things. Logically, irreconcilable interests. Let's say there is $1 million. You take $500,000, and the other party will take $500,000. Is it fair? Depends on. Let's say two people just set up a company, and you didn't work 40 hours a week, and the other party worked 20 hours a week. But you just split 1 million profit half and half. Do you think that is fair? Well, at first, when you heard there is 1 million, and then two people just divide and shared half and half, it looks like fair. But now you don't think that is fair. So they fight, and half is not fair. So that's why we make a contract. Okay, contract is important. Why we having contracts? Because we don't want to make conflicts. Because we don't want to waste for the suing and court work, or fighting or something. So that's why we are making contracts. Pretty slow. Churches are so slow. I don't like it. Anyways, opposing tensions. I don't like it. I oppose political maneuvers. Republicans, Democrats, they are fighting. They think conservative, Democrats think Republicans are so dumb, or just old, or stupid, or something, old-fashioned or something. And then Republicans are thinking Democrats are so out of control and they are rude or something. And there can be so many stereotypes they think, and they are all opinionated. So yeah, game, win or lose. There are always conflicts. Those cause, conflicts. While all these behaviors and attitudes make a company influence and provide sources of conflict, most social scientists believe that none of these terms is a synonym for conflict. Nor are these factors a sufficient precondition for conflict. This means conflicts can include all forms of agreements and disagreements. Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint. This is conflict. What else others? What about others? What about others? So all kinds of behaviors and attitudes, those will be involved in conflicts. Okay. So it is, the conflict is not narrow. It's not the narrow term, but the term of conflict is pretty broad, pretty wide. So we have to understand what it is. Okay? So it is hard to pinpoint this is conflict and this is not conflict sometimes. But in overall, we can call those things conflicts. Right? Jeez. I think I just mentioned the last week about the disability people and handicapped people in Korea. Basically, if you are Christians, you cannot criticize those handicapped people, because lots of people are thinking that those handicapped people are demonstrating, and that that kind of demonstrations are making the other civilians uncomfortable. I think that is true, but it's been more than 20 years. And still, lots of handicapped people can't use the wheelchairs because there are, gaps. So Korean society is not, handicap friendly society, because for a long time, on the basis of the shamanism, most people are thinking those people got cursed, that's why they got handicaps. Nowadays they are changing their ideas and thinkings, but still there are older people and they are thinking that they got handicaps because they got cursed by their ghosts or gods, not the capital God but the lowercase gods. That's what shamanism were thinking, and they still are thinking that. Well, let's say I'm not sure they got cursed or not. Okay, I think I don't think like that, but let's say if that is right, some people, the handicapped people got cursed, and just normal people are blessed. But God loves all people, and we all are human beings, and we have the same equal rights as human beings. That's what most constitutions are saying. And I believe God loves all people. So we cannot say those people are not supposed to be free to move. they want to move to here, there, as all other people want to do that. And they are demonstrating for building the elevators in the subway stations. I think 10 or 20 subway stations don't have elevators, and lots of elevators in all other stations, they are not working properly. Okay, and using time is limited, depends on the stations. That is wrong. It can be possible in the United States. When you walk and you got stumbled by uneven pedestrian ways because of the the concretes are moving up and down. So cities are trying to make it flat, so they just cut and grind the uneven parts to make it even. But in Korea, it's not handicap friendly. So there are kind of big gaps, uneven part. There are so many uneven parts. When you have this much uneven pedestrians streets, it is pretty hard to move up or down because it's dangerous. You can lose your balance, the wheelchairs can get rolled over. They have to have the right to move freely. And elevators, majority of elevator users are seniors, the weak, the little kids, infants with the strollers, 5 times more. A broadcasting company researched the subway station, and they found that just the sick, the seniors are using the elevators 5 times more than the handicaps did. What's wrong with the handicaps? Nothing. You don't want to discriminate those people. You don't want to. What if you are handicaps? I'm sick with it. In the broadest sense, it involves the inability of parties to reach mutually acceptable agreements. It relates to all levels of conflicts between individuals, within families, communities, organizations, or states, even between animals. Yes, cats are fighting on fish, dogs are fighting on food, beef. Yeah, there are conflicts in all of the places. Even the vegetables, trees, strong trees kill, weak trees by making more shadows. Because trees are supposed to get sunshines, but if a tree doesn't get enough sunshines, it can't grow well. You know it, right? So what if a strong and make more leaves trees are there, and the little trees got shade, so it cannot grow well. But this will grow well. Conflicts. Because your gain makes others loss. It's going to be a conflict. When you reach mutually acceptable agreements, you'll be okay. You'll be fine. You'll be happy. I don't like living in an apartment. I behave if I have to live in an apartment. But in Korea, there are, very expensive apartments. Normally, in general, the one apartment, like 2 or 3 bedrooms apartment, 1 million, $1 million at least. You have to pay $1 million for the apartment. But the apartment is kind of 20 or 30 stories of big building and sharing the elevator with many apartments, which means the upper unit got make noise and jumping on the floor, and the lower up the residents gonna get angry, so they are fighting. Actually, they are killing each others, ended up killing others. That's what happened. Conflicts. You have fun, I have noise, got headaches, conflict, fighting, killing, beating. Oh my goodness, suing. So many things. Families, communities, yes, individuals. Conflict has been in existence since the creation of man. In the Garden of Eden, conflict occurred between God, Adam, and Eve because the latter failed to obey the ordinance of God. As a result of the disobedience of Adam and Eve, their relationship with God was adversely affected. In legal terms, law has it that there is a right to expect obedience and others have an obligation to obey, but this is not always the case. Yes, when God created all creatures, including Adam and Eve, He ordered Adam not to eat a particular tree's fruit. That means he could eat all other fruits. So think about it. You wanna choose. You wanna eat apple, only apple in your whole life, or you wanna eat all other fruits except the apple? What do you wanna choose? Which is more blessings? Definitely, I would give up the apple, but I can enjoy all kinds of fruits. Or eating apples only in my whole life, no other fruits ever. It's gonna be a miserable life. I like apples. I like apples. Eating apples is always blessings. I think it is always blessings. But eating only apple, but Adam and Eve, they ate the particular fruit God banned. That was disobedience, and it made conflict. It was conflict. It's conflict. There is a rich man, and he has a wife he loves, and he has good friend or his best friend. There's a king. Like a king. Kings can have lots of wives, but let's say a king invited his best friend, and his best friend is living in the palace with the king, his friend, and he allowed all other women, can sleep with the best friend, and the best friend can choose any woman every day or every hour. But the king said, You don't touch my wife. And he touched the wife. The same thing. I mean, there was no reason Adam and Eve break the law, but they did. There was a disobedience. There was a big conflict between God and Adam and Eve. And that's why so-called they fall. They fall. They fall into the sin. It was a kind of ridiculous situation, but that's what people made conflict with God. That was the first conflict. And that was irreconcilable. Okay? Irreconciliation. Conflicts can also arise as a result of an individual not being able to adjust to social norms. So just do as Rome's when you're in Rome, okay? You don't want to insist your own ways when you are in New York or when you are in Sudan, Africa, okay? That was really stressful for me. I was traveling with my mission team, and a Caucasian guy. We just stopped at Taiwan hotel, and we had to spend the night there because of the transition transfer to other plane to Thailand. At night, I was just enjoying my loneliness in the hotel lobby. I was sitting, and I just heard something noisy, and get my friend. I was about to, call his name, but anyways, he was arguing with the hotel staff because he just he got two coffees, one for him, one for his wife, and he was arguing with the hotel staff, and which means the coffees are so expensive. Maybe $10 each. 20 years ago, which is expensive, but it's a hotel. It's not Starbucks. It's not McDonald's. He was supposed to ask the price first. Why he just complained that? I was thinking if he was in the United States, he would complain for the coffee price. I think he didn't want to do it. But he was in the Taiwan. I think that he was despising that country or the hotel staff or something. Why he was complaining the price? He was supposed to ask first. He's in the hotel, nice hotel. Okay. So I didn't want to just hear that. So I just told him that I would pay for it for blessing the couple. $20. 25 years ago, there was a lot of money, but I didn't want my mission team members, have any trouble with the hotel staff. He said, really, thank you, and he's gone. And I just told the hotel service person that please understand, my friend. That was ridiculous. When you're in Rome, do as Romans do. You have to respect other cultures. That means you don't insist your own culture in other countries. Be humble. Be humble. You travel to a country in Asia or Africa or wherever, you just despise those people who are living in there for many, many years, 1,000 years, 100 years. You're not supposed to do it. Whether you are PhD holders or whatever, it's garbage is there. They don't have PhDs, but they are living in there well. You hold PhD degrees in Africa in a jungle. It's useless. You're gonna die in a couple of days. But those people, have been living there for 100 years, 1,000 years, 1,000 years. No problem. They know snakes. They know, all kind of toxic vegetables or mushrooms. But you are hungry and you eat anything, you're gonna die. Be humble. Most of all, if you are Christians, you have to remember God loves all people. God loves all people. A contributory factor to conflict is the inherent nature of humans and animals, that is, the flight or fight tendencies. Humans or animals exhibit these tendencies when faced with danger or anything that threatens their existence. The fight tendency is usually accompanied by an aggressive behavior which prompts a conflict with the invader. Okay. Yeah. You want to protect yourself, then you need to get ready for it. And when you are protective, yes, you are supposed to do it, but you're gonna get conflict with your invaders. No one welcomes thieves. No one welcomes robberies. Who would do that? There are always conflicts. And it's gonna be very hard for you. You can lose your lives. You can get hurt. So you wanna just get ready for the conflicts. So contributory factors to conflict is inherent nature of humans and animals. When somebody attacks you, you naturally get ready for protecting yourself, consciously and unconsciously. So when something flies to you, you just close your eyes because you don't want to lose your eyes. So you have eyelids. You don't have lids for your lips. It's less dangerous than your eyes. But your eyes are so important and your eyes are so delicate. So you have covers, eyelids. You have covers. You don't have a cover on your nose and ears, but you have covers. You have hair because you want to protect your head. Okay? You have hairs on your armpits and your private parts because hairs help those parts. Okay? If you don't have hair, you're gonna get lots of rashes when you run or something. So you just wear your shirts like that and protecting that your armpit. Why people are using the jogging, what's it called? In a wear which is very tight, so you don't want to get rashes. Okay, but the hairs are helping those things. So I don't want to shave those hairs. But the women are, shaving their hairs because they don't want to show that hair to others. Well, long times ago, people didn't shave their armpits, especially women. They didn't shave their armpits. I don't know. Somehow people think it is ugly. That's why people are shaving. But I don't mind. Who cares? Well, I'm losing my hair because that's genetic genetic problem. My father, lost lots of hair, so it's same to me. When you walk on the street, it's pretty hot. It's big difference. I'm pretty sure that it's big difference. If you don't know it, just shave it and feel it. It is very cold in the morning, very hot during the days. If you have good enough hair, you're gonna feel less cold, you're gonna feel less heat. Okay? Something like that. So naturally, when somebody attack others, you feel, you're gonna protect yourself. A conflict can also happen when one party imposes its will on the other side. So you have to be a doctor, you have to be a, lawyer or something. I don't know why parents are just pushing their kids to be something they want, not their kids want. That's what happened. A girl, her parents wanted her to be a doctor, but she didn't want to be a doctor at all. But anyways, because her parents pushed her to be a doctor, so she got admission eventually from a medical school. And she showed that admission to her parents, and on that night she killed herself. Okay, father and mother, this is what you wanted. Okay, I got admission, but I don't want it. I want to kill myself. That's what happened. Well, I understand how and what the girl felt for a long time, because she couldn't do anything she wants to do for a long time. Well, choosing suicide was kind of sad, but if that was only choice she could choose, I think she got damaged by her parents for a long time, so she had no other choice. So that's what she did. That is very sad. Survival. One of the most prevalent misperceptions is that conflict is bad, destructive, a negative phenomenon which should be eliminated or avoided at all costs. A company, Samsung, their company doesn't like what is that? Union. So they desperately blocked their employees make unions for long times. Even if they couldn't, if the company couldn't avoid that, that company made their own union, which means that union is not the labor's employees made, but the company made. You know what happened? Have you ever heard that Samsung has no union in the United States? They all have unions, but they don't allow unions in their own country. In other, Asian countries or something, because they know how to play with it. That's kind of sad. Anyways, they were thinking that the conflict's gonna be hectic, so for avoiding the conflicts, they just decided not to make or allow unions, because because Samsung thought that is bad, destructive. Okay, this misperception must be dispelled as one discovers that there can be many positive functions and consequences of conflict experiences. Ooh, if you don't compete, competing, which means another meaning of conflicts, then you cannot, develop your skills and knowledges. Because it is competitive, you have to work harder. Or you just do nothing but, just get some food from the countries or governments. I don't think that is good ideas. Okay. So one of that was a misconception. Okay, depending on the disconstruction of the conceptual meaning of conflict, it can change unfavorable circumstances into cooperative, positive, and relatively peaceful path. For example, the clamor for self-determination and independence by many colonized entities resulted in many independent states. Some of these independent entities disagreed with their colonial administrative offices before they gained independence from them. Conflicts can also be classified as a small group or large group conflicts. And conflicts may be realistic or unrealistic. Okay, every conflict is unique but can also be similar to other conflicts. So we can get some positive things from conflicts. Okay. So if you don't understand the conflicts you have as conflicts, you got in trouble. Okay? But understanding the existing current or future conflicts, then you can deal with it, try to deal with it, or try to find any solutions to resolve those conflicts. Or you can get ready for the future conflicts or any potential conflicts. By doing so, you can get lots of benefits from that. Okay. There's an example. The Algerian War of Independence, led by the National Liberation Front. That's what's so-called the Front de Liberación Nacional. I don't know if that is right. Fought and gained independence from French colonists in 1962. In 1947 marks India's independence from the British Empire. This was the end of British rule and partition of the country into Hindu India and Muslim state of Pakistan. No conflicts. Without any conflicts, France and British will still colonize India and Algeria because they can get lots of benefits from other countries. Stealing, killing, human trafficking, drugging. Misusing children and girls. That's what they did for long times in the past. And they are still doing that in some countries. So I don't think that those countries can say about the human rights. Shame on them. Nigeria gained its independence from British rule in 1960 but did not become a federal republic until 1963. The Declaration of Independence established the United States of America's independence from British colonial rule in 1776. In 1961, South Africa declares itself a republic from British rule under the National Party. Can you imagine how many countries mess with other countries? Ripped. So I don't want to just travel Europe, and I don't want to visit their museums, because those are all filled with what they ripped off other countries for long times. I would vomit. So I don't want to visit those countries. Invaders. I don't want to visit invaders countries, but I'm living in the United States. It's kind of irony, but anyways, kind of feeling shame sometimes, but somehow we are living in this country. Okay, I think that's it. So we just took a look how and what cause conflicts. We're gonna take care of others next week.